Emily from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Saturday, February 19th. So today we have the moon in Libra all day, and this is going to be a good time for us to really see where it is that balance needs to be restored in our lives, in our emotions, in our thoughts, and of course, in our physical realm. There are 8 different aspects taking place here today, and 8 of them involve the moon. Right out of the gate, we have the moon bumping into Saturn. And of course, Saturn wants to show us where it is that we need to boss up emotionally. And that moon in Libra just wants to focus on where things get to an extreme point. You know, that Libran energy wants to show us where balance is, where peace is needed, where harmony is needed. But we find these particular aspects out by living in extremes. So bumping into Saturn, and of course Saturn is all about roles and responsibilities in life, our karmic roles and responsibilities at best. It's also showing us our commitments that we've made and where it is that we are definitely trying to build new structures, new systems, new routines, new foundations in our lives that are going to be more supportive, more in alignment with what makes us happy. And of course, because the moon in Libra is very focused on finding balance, we might find that things are a little bit extreme when it comes to our emotions. Maybe we're feeling weighted down. Maybe we're feeling a little bit negative Nancy. This is going to be a key indicator on what particular tasks and chores we are involved with in our physical realms that maybe need new life breathed into them so that we don't feel so weighted and we don't feel so overly committed and dreading some of the things that we have committed to. The moon is going to trine Mercury. This is going to be a beautiful energy for us to get our heart and our head on the same page. Again, we just went through a very energetically intense week. We had a huge release under that full moon in Leo. We're just getting our toes dipped into these Piscean waters. And right now is a good time for the moon in Libra to check in with our mental plane to really see where it is that our thoughts need a little bit more balance, a little bit more organization, and where it is that maybe this would be a good time to communicate the thoughts and the feelings that we're having, especially with the people that need to hear it. The moon is going to make some very positive aspects with both Uranus and the sun. Now, the Uranian energy is going to provide us with a brand new insight. And now that the moon is in Libra, we're all about trying to review the details of what's been going on in our headspace, in our heart space, and in our physical realm in order for us to kind of piece together where it is that, you know what, we have to find a new common ground. We have to find a new stable point. We have to ground between our heart and our head. Now, this Uranian energy is the Great Awakener. It downloads us with brand new insights coming in from our highest realms. And it's going to have a major effect on where it is that maybe we have to do more work in our day-to-day life, in the routines in which we've kind of subscribed to, in our relationships, in our jobs, where it is that we need a little bit more stability, a little bit more balance. Now, bumping into the sun is going to be a beautiful thing because the sun is now in Pisces. This is definitely an emotional time. This is definitely a very spiritual time. We're likely going to get huge downloads from our higher self, from our intuition, a really good dream, a good vision for us to really kind of hold on to and use as motivation and inspiration to find the balance, to find the peace, to find the harmony. It's a good thing that we do get this little jolt of positive energy, which will actually last for, I'm going to say, the better part of the afternoon, because then the moon goes ahead and opposes Chiron. So Chiron is the wounded healer, and he's in Aries energy, which is showing us where our egoic identity technically is falling apart in order for us to align with our higher selves. Many of us have had severe loss, whether that be, losing people, losing relationships, losing jobs, losing money. All of this has a huge impact on the identity that we've created here in this physical realm. So right now, the moon in Libra is sitting across from these ego wounds. And right now we're not feeling so good because why? Libran energy tends to explore the extremes in order for us to find balance. This is likely going to trigger our heart and our head into some negative thoughts, some negative thinking, really exposing us to what it is that we need to focus on the most right now in order to heal that part of ourselves. The reason why many of us are feeling very discombobulated and torn into two is because we are essentially leaving the old egoic identity behind and not quite standing firm and positive enough in this new identity that we're creating that is much more heart-led, much more intuitional-led. This is our energetic body trying to take over, but the confines, the restrictions, the conditions that we have had to build this egoic identity under is still got a hold on us, and it doesn't feel that good. Now, the moon is going to bump into Uranus. This is likely going to, I'll tell you, we're bumping into Uranus, then we're bumping into the true node, then we're bumping into Jupiter. And all of them are not the nicest aspects. So let's just break this down. The moon bumping into Uranian energy is likely going to create a lot of confusion and chaos, especially feeding off of this, inner conflict of our ego, of our identity, of being kind of pulled apart between two different versions of ourselves. Then we feed off of that. That Uranian energy tends to confuse us. Confusion is part of the plan. You need to be confused in order to find clarity. Now we're not sure what it is that we want. Now we're not sure what it is that we desire because we're recognizing where it is that our egoic identity is still very much attached to the systems and structures of the past, and where it is that our intuition and our energetic body isn't firmly rooted into a path in which we can clearly understand right now. So there is a little bit of confusion. Then bumping into the true node, well, the true node is trying to get us on the path that we need to be in order to actually fulfill our soul's destiny, our soul's purpose. But we're confused now. We don't know what to do. So now it's almost like we're standing back and we're kind of reviewing the plans that we were just so freaking sure of, not even 2 days ago. And now, because we're trying to sort through our thoughts and our feelings and kind of gain a new stable ground to operate of, we're kind of questioning everything. This is putting a little bit of a blockage, a little bit of a disconnect in the plans in which we had. And of course, we have to revise our current thoughts and emotions to see what it is that we're currently being drawn and inspired to pursue. Then by the time we bump into Jupiter, of course, Jupiter wants us to grow and expand. He wants us to really align with our higher selves, dive into our spiritual realm, really understand the tough love life lessons that were thrown at us so that we can pluck out the silver linings and see the true meaning of the struggle that we've had to go through and why it's preparing us to receive the rewards and the blessings in which we've been praying for. But the moon in Libra right now, bumping into Jupiter, is just focused on what we currently don't have. This can be a very negative mindset. And because this Libran energy wants so badly to be balanced, we tend to really sit in the extremes until we can find our way back to that middle ground. So that Jupiter energy does turn the volume up on what it is that we want more of. We want more stability. We want more peace. We want more love. We want more harmony. We want more clarity. We want all of those things, but realizing that we want all of those things really does kind of illuminate that we're lacking all of those things in this present moment. And then negative Nancy kicks in, and then Betty the bully kicks in, and then we start talking fear into the dreams that we had not only 24 hours ago and ripping ourselves down, and again, really falling victim to the overwhelming intensity that happens when we get confused. But again, I'm going to ask you to lean all the way into this confusing process because that is when we gain the most clarity.